Hello everyone, this is Amber with Staying Crafty, and I'm just finishing up a project here and wanted to show you how I did it. So this is just a carnation instant breakfast container that's covered with patterned paper and ribbon, and I am making sort of like a bouquet arrangement of paper pieces and just making it really cute and fun. It's something I'll be bringing to a new mother in the hospital here soon. So I used the new arrival Cricut cartridge, and there is this circle that cuts out with the stitch lines in it, and I cut this out using rolled dial size at 3 inches. And then I bought this kind of in the Easter holiday section of Michael's. It's Offray ribbon, and it's really nice and thin. It's a pale blue. They had other colors also. And I used a needle just to stitch that all through the circle, and I just taped it starting it and taped it ending it. So that's just on the back there, and it lays nice and flat with the tape. And then for the back sides, there's a circle feature in the cartridge. You can see here's the onesie that I did, and I had the real dial size on for this also just to make sure they'd line up. And so I used the onesie for some and some other cuts for the others, and I ran it through the Swiss Dots Cuttlebug embossing folder, and I just layered a patterned piece of paper behind this. I cut that slightly smaller. I just cut it at 1 3/4 inches, mainly just so I didn't have to line up the edges perfectly. It still covered the holes for all my images. So let me show you how we're going to put this together. This one, I have a little blue rattle, so I'm just going to add some adhesive to it. Just using a Zig 2-way glue pen. Just going to add this to the front of my stitched circle. Very cute, very easy to do. Now I have just these bamboo skewers that are pretty much used for cooking and that type of thing. You can get a big pack of them, very affordable, and I just painted all of them blue with just like standard acrylic craft paint. So I've got one of those here, and now what I'm going to do is adhere these together over the bamboo skewer. So I'm using my ATG gun, and I am getting each of these circles just positively covered with adhesive. I want this to be really well coated because I am sticking these to wood, and they also don't get to lay flat on the wood. They're going to be kind of curving in a way that's not really natural, so I don't want to take any chances that my adhesive isn't going to be enough. Alright, so it doesn't really matter which piece you do first. I want the rattle kind of off at an angle. I don't want it straight up and down. So what you want to do is line up kind of the center of where you want your piece, and I go about halfway up, maybe a little further than halfway up, but I want lots of space up here for the paper to stick to the paper. I don't want the skewer up through the whole thing. I didn't find that to work very well. And then I'm going to take my onesie and I'm going to line that up straight because I want that straight up and down. And then I'm just going to press the paper together, and it's just going to sandwich that bamboo skewer right inside there. So here's our little bamboo skewer with our adorable topper, and then I'm just taking some more of the same ribbon that I stitched these with, and I'm just going to tie it around in a knot and then make a little bow. And I'm not very good at bows, but for a project like this, they don't really have to be too perfect. They're just kind of an additional accent. They're not really a focal point. but I wanted them pretty tiny, so usually pull them down to a smaller size, then I can tie them. And when I'm happy with my bow, I'm just taking some glossy accents and just adding a little bit to a couple different spots above, below, and on the bow, just so it doesn't come undone. And then all I have to do is trim my bamboo skewer to the size I want and put it in my arrangement. You could also pre-plan everything and trim all your bamboo skewers ahead of time, and that might be easier, but for me, I kind of needed to play with the different sizes and the pieces as I went, so I'm cutting them as the very last step. So I will be showing you the finished arrangement in just a moment.